Hello friends. These quarters may look normal, but some are worth approximately $300,000. Yes, $300,000. That's a serious jackpot hiding in plain sight. One lucky coin could buy you a car, give you huge cash, or completely change your life. So before you spend your next quarter, check it carefully. Your destiny might be in your pocket. Stay with me and watch the full video. When I say this coin has shocked collectors, I am not joking and I am not exaggerating. Today we are talking about the 1971 United States quarter dollar. And before you skip this video, ask yourself one question: what if a simple 25-cent coin in your pocket could be worth thousands of dollars? The 1971 quarter is part of the famous Washington quarter series, and it was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1971, a massive total of 258,634,428 quarters were produced at Denver. Yes, you heard that right, over 258 million coins. So now you are thinking, how can something made in such huge numbers ever be valuable? That's where the real story begins, and that's why you must watch carefully, and not miss a single second. The 1971 quarter weighs 5.67 grams and is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, not silver. It has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and features the portrait of George Washington on the obverse. On the reverse, you'll see the traditional eagle design that was used before 1976. In normal circulated condition, this coin is only worth face value, just 25 cents. Even in uncirculated mint state grades like MS-63 or MS-64, it may sell for only a few dollars. So if someone tells you every 1971 quarter is worth thousands, that is simply not true. But don't click away, because we are not talking about ordinary pieces. We are talking about the rare, powerful exceptions. Here is where the suspense builds. Some 1971 quarters have been discovered with major mint errors. For example, double die varieties, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. There have also been rare cases where quarters from this era were mistakenly struck on 40% silver planchets left over from special issues. If such a dramatic and verified mint error is authenticated by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, the value can jump dramatically. High-grade error coins in MS-67 condition have sold for thousands of dollars. However, there is no verified public record of a normal 1971 quarter selling for $65,000 or $67,000. Claims like, "Every 1971 quarter is worth millions," are simply not supported by real auction data. But a unique, certified error in extraordinary condition? That is a different story. Now imagine this scene. You are searching through your old coin jar late at night. You pick up a 1971 quarter. You check the mint mark. You weigh it carefully. Does it still weigh 5.67 grams, or is it slightly different? You examine the letters under magnification. Is there doubling? Is the strike unusual? This is the moment where knowledge becomes power. Most people ignore these coins. Most people spend them without thinking. But collectors know that condition is everything. A perfectly preserved 1971 quarter graded MS-67 Plus could sell for hundreds or even a few $1,000s at auction. Not millions for a regular coin, but still far more than 25 cents. That is why you should never rush to sell without proper verification. If you truly believe you have a rare variety or mint error, do not depend on rumors or social media hype. First, get the coin authenticated and graded by a professional service. Then you can consider selling it through major auction houses, online marketplaces like eBay, or collector groups. Yes, coins can be sold at auction, and yes, rare errors can bring surprising prices. but only when they are genuine and certified. Be careful of exaggerated claims on Facebook or random posts promising instant wealth. The real coin market rewards rarity, condition, and authenticity, not hype. So let me say this clearly and honestly. A common 1971 decoder will not make you a millionaire overnight. But a rare error or superb high-grade example could be worth far more than face value. That is not a joke, it is how numismatics works. The difference between 25 cents and thousands of dollars can come down to tiny details most people never notice. So why are you confused? Why are you ignoring the coins already in your home? Check them carefully, weigh them properly, and verify them professionally. Because sometimes the real treasure is not in wild promises of millions, it is in understanding the facts, spotting true rarity, and turning knowledge into opportunity. Next coin. When people hear about a simple pocket change coin turning someone into a millionaire overnight, they think it's a joke. But the truth is, some ordinary-looking quarters have shocked the collecting world with jaw-dropping prices. Today we're talking about the powerful 1973 quarter dollar from the United States of America. A coin many people have touched, spent, and ignored without ever realizing its hidden potential. At first glance, it looks like any normal Washington quarter, featuring George Washington on the front. But under the right conditions, the right mint, the right grade, the right era, this small silver-colored coin can transform from 25 cents into a fortune worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about production, because numbers matter. In 1973, hundreds of millions of Washington quarters were struck for circulation. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 340 million pieces without a mint mark. The Denver Mint struck more than 230 million coins marked with a small d. And the San Francisco Mint created proof versions specifically for collectors, producing a few million high-quality proof coins with mirror-like surfaces. On the surface, these numbers sound huge, and they are. This means most 1973 quarters are common. But here's where things get serious. Condition is everything. A regular circulated coin is worth face value. But a perfectly preserved coin graded at the very top of the scale, especially MS-67 or higher, becomes extremely rare because almost none survived in flawless condition. And this is where collectors start paying insane money. High-grade 1973 quarters, especially from Denver, have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at major auctions when certified in elite mint condition. Why? Because finding one without scratches, without weak strikes, without contact marks is nearly impossible after decades in circulation. Add a dramatic mint error, like a double die, off-center strike, or wrong planchet error, and the value can explode. These are the coins serious collectors fight over. When supply of perfect examples is tiny but demand is strong, prices skyrocket. That's how a 25-cent coin can cross the $50,000 to $75,000 level in rare cases. The design itself also adds to its lasting popularity. The 1973 quarter carries the classic Washington portrait introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. The reverse features the iconic eagle design that defined American quarters for decades before later redesigns. By 1973, these coins were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, no longer silver, which makes high-grade survivors even harder to find because clad coins show marks more easily. That's one reason why pristine examples are treated like treasures in the numismatic world. But let me be clear and honest with you. Not every 1973 quarter is worth thousands. The massive production numbers mean most examples are common. The life-changing money only appears when the coin is in extraordinary condition or has a rare minting error confirmed by professional grading services. That's why you should never rush to sell an old coin cheaply without checking it carefully. Examine the mint mark. Look for unusual doubling in the letters or date. Study the surfaces under magnification. Sometimes the smallest detail separates a normal coin from a collector's dream. So could a 1973 quarter make you rich overnight? In rare situations, yes. If you happen to own a top-graded, nearly perfect example or a dramatic mint error, the value could reach into the tens of thousands of dollars. But knowledge is power. Understanding total production, mint differences, condition rarity, and collector demand is what turns hope into real opportunity. Before spending that old quarter sitting in your drawer, take a second look. Because sometimes, hidden inside everyday change, there's a story, and possibly a fortune, waiting to be discovered. Coin number 3. Stop scrolling right now, because the 1978 D Washington quarter might be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or your old coin jar, and you don't even realize what it could be worth. I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating, and I'm definitely not trying to fool you. Most people see this coin and think it's just 25 cents. But serious collectors know that under the right condition, and especially with rare errors, this coin can explode in value. So stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you about the 1978 D quarter could completely change the way you look at your spare change. The 1978 D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, which is why you see the small D mint mark on the coin. In total, about 287,373,152 pieces were produced that year in Denver. That means it is not rare in normal circulated condition. The coin features George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, and the eagle on the reverse, the classic design used before 1999. The coin weighs 5.67 grams and is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. On paper, it sounds common. But here's where things get interesting. Condition and errors are everything. In everyday circulated condition, a 1978 D quarter is only worth face value, 25 cents. Even in uncirculated mint state condition, it might sell for $5 to $20 depending on grade. But when we talk about high-grade coins, especially MS67 or higher certified by professional grading services, the value can jump dramatically. Some top population examples have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. However, claims of $86,000 or millions of dollars for a regular 1978 D quarter are not supported by verified auction records. That kind of price would only be possible if the coin had an extremely rare mint error, a dramatic strike anomaly, or an almost perfect, registry quality grade combined with extraordinary eye appeal. Now here's the part that keeps collectors awake at night: mint errors. A 1978 D quarter with a major off-center strike, double die error, clipped planchet, broad strike, or wrong planchet strike can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on severity and condition. Error coins are unique because no two are exactly the same. That's where the real, hidden treasure, possibility exists. If you have a 1978 D quarter that looks unusual, strange lettering, doubling, missing clad layer, or dramatic misalignment, don't ignore it. That's when you get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC and consider selling it through a reputable auction house. But listen carefully, don't fall for fake online hype. Many viral posts claim common quarters are worth $50,000 or $1 million without proof. Always check real auction results from trusted companies like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers before believing huge numbers. If you truly believe you have a rare, high-grade, or error example, you can sell it through professional coin auctions or platforms like eBay. Some collectors also buy through coin forums and even Facebook groups, but authentication is critical before asking big money. So why are you confused? If you already have a 1978 decorder, the smart move is simple. Check its condition under good lighting. Weigh it. It should be 5.67 grams. Inspect for errors. And if it looks exceptional, get it graded. I'm not saying every 1978 decorder will make you rich overnight. But I am saying that rare high-grade or major error examples can be worth far more than 25 cents. The difference between pocket change and serious money is knowledge. And the people who take action, who check their coins carefully instead of ignoring them, are the ones who sometimes discover something special.